Well, welcome back. Just like the rest of the nation, we are taking the time to honor and remember those who lost their lives on September the 11th, 2001.
Tonight, we hear a firsthand account from a New York man who made it out of the North Tower. Take a listen.
In a 110-story building, when it's falling, the perspective is that no matter on what side you're on, it's falling towards you because it's just that big. So then you just, you freeze and then you run.
Rid of the old
I just ran.
A day that lives on in history, and 23 years later, people even here in the Midlands work to preserve the memory.
Sam Shapiro joins us now live in studio, bringing us an idea of what that day looked like in New York and how one young Midlands boy does his part to salute the service.
Yeah, Greg and Hannah, I was just 2 years old, so I don't remember, but I was just 2 years old heading to nursery school in New York City on September 11th, 2001. But one of my neighbors growing up, Steve Charest, was headed to work at One World Trade, and he was getting ready to make a phone call in his office when everything began to unfold that awful morning.
When we got hit, everything lurched. We all got tossed. I got actually knocked off my feet.
This was how the workday started for Steve Charest and thousands of other people the morning of September 11th, 2001. Steve was also in the building in 1993 during the first attack on the World Trade Center, so at first he assumed it was a bomb exploding.
I just saw like a gout of flame coming out of the building and like chunks of office flying through space. Just, flame, smoke, debris, particles, probably one of the engines that they found on the other building.
Charest worked on the 87th floor of One World Trade, roughly 6 floors below where the plane hit the tower. So when smoke started to build and the skyscraper began to sway, Steve says this was when people started to self-evacuate. But it would be a long trip down to the ground floor.
We went down the stairs, and it's a 47-minute walk down the stairs. We're trying to get down, and you can't just take one stairwell down. Some are on. There's fire, they're locked or wedged shut. You had to find another stairwell down, and then you'd take that, and then you'd go down again, and then you'd detours, right? You're in a burning building.
Charest didn't learn until about a third of the way down that a plane had hit the building.
You could hear it. A plane was hit, and then as you're in a line of people going down the stairwell, people were having heart attacks. Firemen were coming up. The farther down we went, the groups started to break up. When people started to go in smaller groups in different directions.
The horrors Charest would witness that day would come as he funneled through the World Trade Center Mall, looking for an exit onto the city streets.
There were bodies all over the place and blast marks. And there were people in camouflage, in fatigues, I guess, National Guard and cops, and they were just saying, don't look out the window, just go as fast as you can. And they were funneling us into the mall. And of course, you look out the window and you see people falling from the sky. And that's a lot to take in. People are falling from the sky and there's dead people everywhere.
Shortly after Charest made it out of One World Trade, he knew both towers had been hit by planes. He got out just in time as he would run for his life through the smoke as the Twin Towers collapsed. He would run nearly 8 miles across Manhattan, home to his wife and son.
When I got home, I just, kind of let go. Just the shock of it all, I slept for 2 days, and then the smoke woke me up the next day.
Charest says continuing to share stories like his helps honor the brave firefighters who lost their lives that day and keep the memory of what happened alive nationwide. Here in the Midlands, 11-year-old Brooks Mixon is an honorary Irmo firefighter who's been doing just that by running in the Tunnel to Towers 5K. Irmo firefighter James Muller, who died while fighting a fire in May of 2023, inspired Mixon to take part in the run before he passed.
That really inspired me. He had passion for the craft, and he worked hard, and I think I wanted to just follow in his footsteps. It really means a lot to me, and to all of these firefighters that work within the state, in the country, and anywhere.
And the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk begins this Friday at 6 p.m. with the race itself starting at 7. And we're going to have a link to where people can learn more about the Tunnel to Towers Foundation on our website, wistv.com.
Yeah, it's an incredible organization and an incredible event. Always participating in that is incredibly inspiring. Because people will come out and they'll have pictures of those who lost their lives on September 11th, first responders. It's just amazing and really cool to see, you know, just the memories and those who are being remembered today.
It's important to never forget. Thank you, Sam. But stay with us. More Prime Time after this.